Hello everyone and welcome to tutorial number 60 in a series of video tutorials for Java programming. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon as well to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload on my channel. In the last tutorial I discussed about the concept of string buffer. Okay, so in that tutorial I introduced the concept of string buffer. So in this tutorial we are going to discuss these methods of which are defined in that particular class. So let's get started right away without wasting any more time. Now first of all, the first method which we are going to discuss is going to be getChars method. The return type of this method is an array of characters. Okay, so now let me show you how this particular method is going to work. This method is very similar. We have already this method functions very similar to a method which we have already discussed in one of my previous tutorials. So let me just show you how this method is going to perform. So first of all, I am going to create an object of string and I want to assign a value, okay, Java tutorial, to that particular string. Then after that I am going to create a string buffer, okay, because obviously this particular method, it is defined in this particular class, and this is a non-static method, or in other words you can say this is an instance method. So we definitely need an object in order to access this particular method. All right, so I'm going to use this particular constructor, new string buffer, okay, which is going to accept a string. Okay, in the previous tutorial we have already discussed this constructor. So if you are not familiar with the concept of string buffer, you can go and watch tutorial number 59, the previous tutorial. So now I'm going to talk about this getChars method. getChars method. Now this getChars method, it is going to accept 4 parameters. Okay, so the first parameter is going to be the start index. Alright, so let me do it. Yes, B, and the return type of this method, the return type of the method is void. It is not the array of characters, it is the return type of this method is void. Okay, the return type of this method is void. So yes, B dot getChars, you can see here the return type of this method is void. So it is going to accept 4 parameters. The first parameter is source begin. So here I am going to write 0. Okay, so 0 means the starting index. Index always starts from 0, if you remember, in the Java programming language, or even in any programming language for that matter. Then after that, I want to I want the array of characters to contain Java. Basically I want the array of characters to print Java only. So what I am going to do, I am going to write 4 here. Okay, so here you can see that the index is starting from 0. J becomes 0, this becomes 1, this is 2, this is 3. But here you need to write one extra index. Like for example, if I hover over getChars, then here you can see that the first character to be copied it is at index source begin. The last character to be copied, it is at index source end -1. So the second parameter is source end. So here you need to write source end -1. Okay, it is at index source end -1. That means here you need to write source end +1. Okay, so here you need to write 4. You should not write the 3 here. If you write 3 here, it is going to print only JAV. It is not going to print Java. Okay, then the third parameter is going to be the character, okay, array of characters, and we are not defined that array of characters yet. So let me define the array of characters. So I am going to write character Java new char 4, because obviously it is going to contain only 4 characters and it is going to contain exactly 4 characters. All right, so here I am going to write Java, and after this what I am going to do, I am going to write 0. Okay, so if I hover over this, what is going to happen, it is showing int destination begin. Destination begin means Java 0. That means it is going to begin from 0th index. Okay, so here if you hover over this, it is clearly mentioned here. Okay, characters are copied into the sub array of destination DST starting at index in destination begin. All right, so now what I am going to do, Now of this particular function, it is going to copy this Java inside this particular Java. Okay, this Java is different from this Java because obviously I renamed both of these as the same. Of course you can rename here if you want. I am renaming this at EARR in order to avoid any confusion. Okay, so I am renaming the areas EARR instead of Java. So now this particular Java JAVA, it gets stored in EARR, okay, which is the array. And now we can simply print this array. Okay, so printing the array is going to be very easy. System.out.println, okay, arrays dot toString EARR. Okay, so this is one of the way to print an array, and I need to import that particular package, import java.util.arrays. Once I do that, that error will go away, and after this, if I press the run button, then hopefully it is going to print Java. So let us wait for the output. Yeah, you can see here, okay, J, then after this A is coming, then after this V, and then after this A is coming. You need to remember that this is an array of characters, so that is why the index, the character at index number 0, it is J, okay, index number 1 it is A, index number 2 sorry, it is V, and index number 3 it is A. Alright, so 0 1 2 3 JA VA, that is the output. So that is how this particular thing is going to work. And if you want to print from a tutorial, if you want to if you want to replace this Java with tutorial, then that is also very easy. Okay, you need to write 5 here, then after this 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, that means you need to write 13 here, and if you press the run button once again, then it is going to print tutorial. Okay, I think there is some problem there. Okay, I understood what the problem is. TUTORIAL character 8. Okay, so when I press the run button now, it is going to print TUTORIAL. Okay, because you need to understand that Java contains only 4 characters, but this tutorial contains 8 characters. Okay, and I ignored that particular thing, and that is the reason why that exception was getting thrown. Okay, so you need to keep track of all those things. Okay, otherwise the Java program, it is not going to work. Now that is what this particular method is going to do. It is simply going to input it is going to simply going to input a string, basically, like here we have Java tutorial, and it is going to extract the array of characters based on the specification, whatever you are specifying here. Okay, source begin means like as I told you here, if you write 0 to 4, it is printing Java. Okay, and here if you're writing 5 to 13, it is printing tutorial. Okay, all right. So depending upon what the parameters passed here, it is going to extract a array of characters, and it is going to store in this particular array EARR. And after this, when you print out this particular array, it is going to print out the output. All right. So that is all about this getChars method. Then after this, we have the insert method. Okay, so I'm going to remove that 3 lines, and I'm going to remove these 2 lines for now. So here I want to insert a particular string inside this particular string buffer. All right, so now we know that this string buffer, it is containing Java tutorial. Okay, right now if I print system.out.println SB, what is going to happen? It is going to simply print Java tutorial. All right, because that is exactly what the string buffer is containing. Nothing else is there inside the string buffer. Now what I want, the string buffer, I want to insert a string to the string buffer. Alright, I want the string buffer to print out Java programming tutorial. And how do I do that? So sb.insert. Now here you can see that these are the various methods, okay, which are available in this string buffer class. Okay, so this particular insert method, it is overloaded. Okay, I hope you already know about the concept of method overloading. Okay, it is not method overriding. Okay, don't confuse both of the concept. This is method overloading, not overriding. If you don't know the difference between these two concepts, then you can watch one of my previous tutorials. I mentioned it over there. Okay, you can search it from the playlist. So this is the concept of method overloading. All right, so now we are going to use this particular method into offset string str. So what I'm going to use, the first parameter is going to be int offset. So int offset means it is just like a kind of an index only. Okay, like for example here j is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, in the fourth index I want to insert programming, because here you can see very well Java, the index of a is 3. Okay, the index of the empty space is 4. So in the fourth position I want to insert programming. Okay, so what is going to happen? It is going to insert programming, but one unfortunate thing what is going to happen is it is going to print Java programming tutorial without any spaces in between. I think one space will come between A and programming, but there will be no space between programming and tutorial. So let us see what the output is. System.out.println SB. Okay, again you need to remember that I need to write SB here. Okay, if I write S here, then it is not going to print Java programming, because as I said earlier itself, this particular string class, it is immutable in nature. So you cannot the value contained inside the string object, it is not going to change unless I explicitly change it. So here you can see the difference, as I told you. Okay, so here the space is not coming between A and P, but the space is coming between G and T. Okay, so in order to remove this particular formatting error, I am going to give a space here. So if I give the space there, then what is going to happen? It is going to print Java programming tutorial properly. Okay, so that is how this particular method is going to work. Okay, so you need to understand how this method is working. Here you can see that the index of A is 3. Okay, so when I inserted programming here without any white space, okay, so right away this P programming got inserted over here like this. That is the reason why it was showing Java programming. Then after that it was showing a space, because the white space still existed. You need to keep that thing in mind. The white space was at position number 5. It was at position number 4. But however, in position number 4 I wrote programming, right? I inserted programming here. That is the reason why it was showing Java programming. But after the G it was showing a space. But however, if I give a space here, okay, then it is going to print programming like this, and that is exactly what the output is printed over here. Okay, so that is how this particular method is going to work. All right, so that is all this particular insert method is going to do. Obviously, as I said a few minutes ago, there are a lot of versions of this overloaded method. Okay, this insert method, it has a lot of overloaded versions in it. So you can experiment from your side. Okay, I am going to just experiment maybe one or two more methods, because there is a lot of overloaded methods. I cannot do it in this particular video. So I am just going to add a character, let us say Java tutorial something, Java A tutorial, something like that. I just want to insert a character. Okay, so what is going to happen? It is going to print Java A tutorial. Okay, in much the same manner, if I want to insert, let us say in the 13th position, I think 13th, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13. So in the index number 13, so I want to insert, let us say, okay, I want to insert a number. So this particular tutorial is tutorial number 60, right? So I want to insert 60. Let us see what happens. So the output should be what is going on here? Okay, so it is printing Java tutorial 60. All right, so if I want to give a space in between tutorial and 60, then I can give space like this. So if I press the run button once again, then it is going to print Java tutorial space then 60. But it is not even showing space here. Okay, so this particular, in this way you can find the various ways. So I think here you need to write 14, I think, after giving space. If you write 14 here, then I think the output should come properly. Yes. Okay, in this way you can use the various methods which is defined in this particular StringBuffer class. There are a lot of overloaded versions of this insert method. I already showed you that. Then after that we have the insert method. We have already discussed that. We have the reverse method. So what this reverse method is going to do, like here we have Java tutorial. Okay, so if I want to find, if I want let us say if I want to reverse this particular string, what is going to be the output? LAIROTUT. Okay, then after that there will be a space, then AVAJ. That is what the reverse of this particular string is going to be. Okay, so the StringBuffer class, it is going to provide an easy way to do that. Like for example, here I am going to write system.out.println sb.reverse. Okay, and this particular method, the return type of this particular method is StringBuffer, and it is going to accept no parameters simply because it does not need any parameter. It is simply going to reverse the order of the characters of a particular string. Okay, so now the output is going to be the reverse of this particular string. So it is going to print LAI, okay, ROT, then UT, then space in between, then after that AVAJ. Okay, so now the use of this particular method is like whenever you want to check whether a string is palindrome or not. For example, I can give an example right now. Let us talk about a string, let us call it as madam. Okay, now here the value of the string is madam. Okay, if I reverse this string, then also it is going to be madam only. So right now if I press the run button, okay, the reverse of this string is also going to be madam only. Okay, so let us see what the output is. It is going to be madam only, obviously. So what does this mean? This particular string madam, it is a palindrome. Okay, so it is generally used for that purpose only, generally. Okay, then after that we have the delete method. Okay, so delete method, so what is this delete method going to do? Okay, so let us see what this delete method is going to do. System.out.println sb.delete start end. Okay, it has two parameters, start and end. Now here what I want to do is I want to once again change the madam to Java tutorial. All right, and now what I want to do is I want to delete this Java. I want to print only tutorial here. So what am I going to do in that case? I'm going to delete 0. Okay, 0 means the starting index of j is 0 obviously, and the ending index is going to be 3, but I think I need to use 4 here. Let me see what happens. So I am writing sb.delete 0 to 4. Okay, so if I write 0 to 4 and if I press the run button, what is going to be the output? The output is going to be tutorial. Okay, and what happens if I write 3 here? Because obviously the index of A is 3 only. So what is going to happen if I write 3 here? It is going to print A tutorial. So that means here also you need to remember that you need to write one extra, like here if you want to delete A, the index of A is 3. So that means if you want to delete A, then you need to write index plus 1. Okay, the index of the character which you want to delete plus 1. Okay, so that is the thing which you need to remember here. All right, so that is what this particular delete method is going to do. And if I want to delete this tutorial, then that also is going to be very easy. I just simply need to write 5 here, and I need to write 13 here. And if I press the run button, then it is going to print only Java. Okay, it is going to print only Java, as simple as that. All right, so now I want to delete character at a particular index. So what am I going to do about that? System dot, how do I go about it? System dot out dot println sb dot delete character at. Okay, now one thing you can you need to remember here is that even though I'm writing like this, you do need to write like this here. Okay, so what you can do here, what you can do is you can write simply like this also. sb dot delete char at, let us say I want to delete the character at I want to remove this empty space. Let us say I am writing sb dot delete character at 4, and after that I want to simply print sb. Then this particular thing is also going to work, because as I said earlier itself that the StringBuffer class, it is mutable in nature. So here you can see what the output is. It is Java tutorial. In much the same manner, in the previous example also, here also you can write sb dot delete like here. You can write sb dot delete, okay, 0 to 4, and then also the output is going to be tutorial only. Okay, but I wanted to save a little bit of time there. That is why I wrote it like this. It is completely up to you what you want to, how you want to write it. Okay, this particular class, it is mutable. Okay, it is mutable in nature, so you can write it in whatever way you want to write. Okay, so you have full freedom about it. Now, so I want to I already removed this particular space. Okay, I want to, let us say I want to remove this t from here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete character at 5 instead. Okay, so index number 5, I mean, so the t will get removed and it is going to print Java tutorial. Okay, so this particular method, it is going to delete character at a particular index. Then after this we have the replace method. So what is this replace method going to do? Replace method is simply going to, like for example, sb dot replace. Okay, it is going to accept 3 parameters. One is going to be the start, one is going to be the end, and the string str. Okay, the string with which you want to replace it. For example, the starting index of j is going to be 0 obviously, and the ending index, I think here also you need to use 4. Okay, we will check this thing later on. And I want to replace Java with programming. Okay, so what is going to do, it is simply going to replace this Java with programming. That's it. So I am going to press the run button, and here it is going to print. Okay, wait a minute, I did not print sb. Sorry about that, guys, schoolboy error. System.out.println sb. So if I press the run button now, it should print programming tutorial. Okay, so here also you need to remember that you need to write 4, not 3, because as I said earlier, the index of a is 3, but you need to write 4 here. What is going to happen if you write 3 here? What is going to happen if you write 3 here? I think it is going to print a year programming tutorial, something like that. Okay, programming year tutorial. Okay, fine. Okay, because it is replacing this particular thing, JAV. Okay, the index of j is 0, index of v is 2, but as I said earlier, you need to write index plus 1 here. Okay, so then after this a is remaining, right? This JAV, it got replaced with programming, but this a is still remaining. So that is why this leftover a, it is coming in the output, and after this the remaining output is the space followed by tutorial. That is how this particular method is going to work. In much the same manner, if I want to replace tutorial with, let us say I want to replace tutorial with lecture. Okay, instead of Java tutorial I want to call it Java lecture, let us say. then you can do it in this manner. Okay, so it is going to print Java lecture. Alright, so that is how this particular method is going to work. It is simply going to replace, a sequence of characters with, a string. Okay, and here also you need to remember that the ending index should be one extra. Okay, here also the ending index should be one extra. Okay, so then after this we have the substring method. So what do we have in the substring method? sb.substring start. Okay, so let me do substring. Let us say I want to write 5. Then system.out.println sb. So if I press the run button again here, what is going to happen? It is going to print Java tutorial, obviously. Okay, so here you need to remember that here you need to create another object, StringBuffer. Let me call it as let us say sb1 or something like that. Wait a minute, substring. Okay, it is a substring. Okay, it is a substring. Sorry about that. Okay, so if I press the run button now, then it is going to print tutorial. Okay, so return type of this particular method is going to be string. Okay, it is not StringBuffer, it is string. Okay, and much the same manner there is another overloaded version of this particular method, and it is going to accept end also. Okay, like for example, now what will happen if I use 0 here? It is going to print entire Java tutorial. Okay, it is going to print entire Java tutorial. Okay, so if I want to print only Java here, then what I am going to do, I am going to write 0 to 4. It is going to print only Java. Okay, in much the same manner, let us say I am writing here Java programming tutorial. Okay, I want to print only programming in the substring. Then what am I going to do? Now here you need to count the index once again here. Okay, so the index is going to be, this is the index of this is going to be 4, index of this is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that means I need to use 5 to 16 here. Okay, so if I press the run button, it is going to print programming. Okay, in much the same manner, you can do the calculations for the tutorial also. And if you want to print only tutorial in the substring, then you can do it using this particular method. Okay, so substring is nothing but a string within another string. Okay, so here we have Java programming tutorial. So this particular method, if you use the first overloaded version like this, it is going to print programming tutorial. Okay, because here we have the starting index, but we don't have any ending index. We are not specified any ending index. So it is going to print out the entire thing. It is going to print programming tutorial. But however, if I use the second overloaded version, okay, and if I press the run button once again, then it is going to print exactly programming. It is not going to print Java. It is not going to print tutorial. Okay, so these are the versions, overloaded version of this particular substring method, and they have different functionalities. Okay, if you use the first version, it is simply going to print out the entire string. Okay, like for example here, if I use the index of 0, it is going to print Java programming tutorial. Okay, if I use the index of 5, then it is going to print programming tutorial. And here if I use the index of, let us say this is going to be 15, right? 16, 17 I think. If I use the index of 17, then it is going to print tutorial. Okay, so this particular overloaded version, it has only the starting index. It does not have any ending index. Okay, but the second overloaded version, it is having both starting and as well as the ending index. Okay, so this can be used to like if you want to print only Java, you can do it. If you want to print only programming, you can do it. If you want to print only tutorial, that also you can do it. Okay, but if you want to print only tutorial, that can be done using the first version also. But if you want to print only programming, then that cannot be done by the first version. Please keep it in mind. In much the same manner, if you want to print only Java, then that cannot be done by the first method. Alright, so that these are the various methods which are present in the StringBuffer class. Okay, and officially I'm going to call the end of this particular class, end of this particular tutorial and end of this particular chapter as well. Okay, so that's all I'm going to talk about in this particular tutorial. In the next tutorial, mostly we'll be starting with the next chapter. I think we are going to explore the java.lang package. Okay, there are a lot of classes, lot of methods available in the java.lang package. Okay, so that's all I'm going to talk about in this particular tutorial. If you have any kind of doubts or any kind of questions, then don't forget to post in the comment section below and I will get back to you when I can. And if you liked this particular tutorial, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in the next tutorial. Till then, bye.